This week we're breaking down the Yotes' heart-stopping 34-31 win over Youngstown State on Saturday, a game that got a whole lot more interesting down the stretch than it looked like it might early in the day, but nonetheless, plenty to talk about after that win over the Penguins, Strev. And let's start with the defensive line. This is a group that's played very well all season long. We've talked about guys like Nick Gaze, talked about guys like Micah Grace. One guy that's gotten a little overshadowed is one of the elder statesmen. Micah Roane's had a great year, had a sack and a half in the first quarter alone on Saturday, up to 3.5 now for the year. But what do you like about what you're seeing right now out of number 92?
He's been playing great, and he had a great first half this week. You know, I just highlighted this play in the first quarter. It's a 3rd and 5. And again, we see the Yotes being able to get pressure with 3D linemen. And when you can do that, it gives you a lot of freedom in the back end to drop 8 guys and really cover things up. And, you know, this sack right here is just a complete effort play. He gets upfield, the quarterback steps up in the pocket, and he's able to make the tackle. But I just wanted to continue to highlight the way this defensive line's playing. It's taken a lot of pressure off the DBs in the back end. They've been able to get some pressure with 3 guys rushing, and when you do that, it just opens up a lot of things for your defense, and you can tell they're having fun. They're playing hard. They're playing with good effort. He's hitting the waddle celebration after the sack, and I just love the way they're playing with great effort and enthusiasm.
Yeah, we saw a lot of waddle from those guys on Saturday. It was fun to see, and Coach Rob Schneider's done a great job in his first year with that group on the defensive line, and Micah Roane certainly reaping some of those benefits of Coach Schneider's arrival to this point. Another guy who's been really reaping a lot of benefits has been quarterback Aiden Bouman, and the emergence of Carter Bell this season. Obviously, we knew coming in that Bell was a very talented receiver, but a couple of big games now for him. You know, huge day in that win over North Dakota State, but then comes back, no catches against Murray State. Well, he bounced back in a big way on Saturday, season-high 131 yards and a couple of huge touchdowns.
Yeah, and look, that's a huge credit to Carter Bell, staying locked in, right? It can be easy as a receiver. You don't get the ball in a big game and maybe feeling down on yourself, but obviously a guy that stayed locked in, stayed ready for his opportunity this week and made the most of it. And it starts off, deep into the second quarter with the long pass over the top. You see Aiden with a great play-action fake, and when he does that, the safety steps down into the box a little bit, and with the way that Youngstown plays things defensively, you're able to manipulate some of those defenders in the back end with the safeties, linebackers, because they play a too high defense. So they need guys to fit into the box to play the run. And that's why you're going to see Aiden sell this play action really good, hard action, puts his eyes down, gets the safety to step up just enough where he's able to get the ball over the top to Carter Bell. And then on the next one, you'll see in the third quarter, middle of the third quarter, it's an RPO run. So again, a great action fake gets the linebackers to step up into the box. Then they have a little streak that runs just a little bit of interference into the corner, so he can't drive the slant from Carter Bell on the outside. And from there, it's pretty much just one-on-one. Aiden delivers a perfect throw. Carter can catch it in stride and really just go cross court all the way to the opposite end of the end zone. So great job by Aiden putting balls on him, and then Carter being ready for his opportunity and making the most of it.
Yeah, that part of a huge career day for Aiden Bouman. Career high 369 yards and 3 touchdowns. Another one to J.J. Galbraith on the day as he continues to have just a monster season as the Yotes starting quarterback. Speaking of big plays, though, we're not used to seeing this USD defense give up a whole lot in that way, particularly through the air, Chris, but this week Youngstown got him a couple of times, and no less, they got him on back-to-back snaps. First one, Mitch Davidson to Joey Farthing for a 65-yard touchdown, come right back on their ensuing possession right after that second Carter Bell touchdown, and he goes 66 yards to Max Tomczak. So, as you look at it, what happened? Because we just haven't seen much of this year.
Yeah, this has not been something we've seen a lot from the Yotes, and big plays are going to happen, right? As a team, it's about how you respond. But again, South Dakota is going to be a too high defense, very similar to Youngstown in some ways. And so the first play, Youngstown comes out in an empty formation, and they really run one of the most classic quarters beaters type of plays, where they run the inside post, take the safety, and then you're able to from there manipulate a one-on-one matchup with the corner on the outside. And their credit, they threw a good ball and were able to get the safety to jump the inside post and throw the outside post for a big play. And then on the second play, it was a little bit different look. Still a too high defensive look from South Dakota, but it's more of a cover 2 look with the safeties getting depth and width. From there, they're still running the double post. The inside post breaks across the field, and the backside safety actually gets a little bit hung up on the dig on the backside, steps up on that instead of getting his depth. And from there, the inside post is able to win kind of across the field. And so Credit to Youngstown being able to manipulate that too high defense and get guys open in the back end. But again, has not been something we've seen a lot from USD, and hopefully they can tighten up on that stuff going into next week.
Yeah, I got a feeling Travis Johansson, those guys are going to get that thing shored up real quick and get back to what they've been doing all season, certainly. Now, this turned into a bit of a track meet. Didn't look like it was going to be. Yotes leading by 21 at 2 different points in the second half, but those 2 long touchdown passes certainly played a role in Youngstown's comeback. They get a couple of touchdowns early in the fourth quarter, or on consecutive drives in the fourth quarter, to tie this game up at 31 apiece. But fortunately for USD, they got the football last. So take me through that last possession that, of course, as we all know by now, ends with Will Leland's 41-yard game-winning field goal.
Yeah, I mean, heck of a drive, heck of a job by South Dakota, keeping their composure late in the game, getting the ball back in a tied game. And I love this last big explosive completion to Micah Lovett from Aiden Bouman. They actually ran a very similar play on the previous drive going into the boundary. This time they hit it to the field. So they have a field player, a receiver, run out a deep post, which takes the safety and the cornerback with them. On the backside into the boundary, they kind of have a corner stop, which holds those backside defenders. And then from there, you see Lovett working across the field on the crosser. So with the field side safety and the corner taken out of the play, all Aiden's got to do is just layer that ball over those underneath linebacker defenders, give him a catchable ball, and a huge explosive play to set up the game-winning field goal. But again, just a great scheme by USD offensively, knowing how to manipulate that defense, how to take the corner and the safety out of there, which leaves a lot of space for that crosser running back across the field, and again, led to a big explosive play, and like you said, the game-winning field goal.
Cardiac Coyotes on that one as Leland knocks it through. Keeps them undefeated against the FCS with another big game coming up this week at Indiana State. First time the Yotes have had to travel outside the Dakotas since that opening game at Missouri. It's the last time we saw you in person. But another big one Saturday, trying to keep this thing rolling with a pretty big game coming up in a couple of weeks.